And welcome back, everyone, to the third episode of Kult, Divinity Lost. I am your GM, Matihi, and we are doing a self-written campaign called Trapped Within. Tonight we are, of course, joined by Rogue playing Daniel, Aki playing Emil, Terry playing Kane, and Ghost playing Terry. Wait, did I say Terry? Tet playing Kane, I'm sorry. Just to be advised for those of you watching, especially in this episode, there might be some triggering themes that we go over. To viewer discretion is advised. But I'm, of course, very excited for you all to join us on this lovely adventure. So this evening, we're going to start with a small interlude with Daniel, moving on to just Daniel and Terry, and finally the four-person cast coming together. So let's begin, shall we? All right. So the rain starts to let up as Daniel drives home with Kane. They don't remember how long it has been since they've used the windshield wipers. You hear them rhythmically creak against the front windshield as you drive. Occasional streaks of water droplets making lines in your field of view. Both Terry and Daniel have resolved to head back home. Tell Daniel's wife, Tammy, nothing. And spend the rest of the evening in Terry's room. Their excuse? Praying. They're sure Tammy would buy it. Daniel, you listen to the rhythmic pounding of the rain on the hood of your car, beating away softly. You still feel a slight sense of ease as you drive, as your mind starts to wander. It wanders to thoughts of women in tight soccer shorts, running across the field, occasionally falling down to their knees. They always look better on their knees, don't they? The hurt on their face as they struggle to get up, dirt covering them. Like those civilians in Afghanistan, though the pain's more visceral. The first place you witness one of your squad mates choke a woman to death as her face bled. Her nose was skewed to the right, blood and mucus gushing out. You couldn't understand her, but you could tell her cries were those for help. You watched the life slowly drain from her eyes as your squad mate strangled the life from the woman. As her hands fell to the floor, you remember your squad mate placing a hand on his belt, loosening it. Your memory flashes to another time, a time more recently. You remember a bridge, a dress, a girl. What do you remember, Daniel? Oh, wrong one. So what do you remember, Daniel, as you traveling in the park about 6 months back, as you travel with Alyssa in tow?
It wasn't that long ago that I knew my love for my wife was dwindling, and I really didn't want it to ruin the kids and their illusion of a happy family. I like to get inspiration where I can. I've gotten as far as taking a hit of acid just for some research purposes, of course. Well, when I was at the library, I met a younger girl, beautiful, blonde, curly hair, blue eyes. Her name was Alyssa, and immediately sparks flew. It didn't take long for me and Alyssa to start meeting in secret. At a local hotel, we were having sex twice a day. Man, she could fuck. It was dirty and hard. And yeah, it was great. And of course, my family didn't know anything about it. And then she wanted more. She wanted me to leave my family for her. It got bad. She kept calling and throwing these little hints to me that she was going to do something and tell my wife. I fucked her a few more times. Tried to tell her we had to end it. She was getting too attached. She started calling the house at dinner time. Was outside the fucking house in the car. My wife started to ask questions. I blew it off like maybe it was a fan of my work or something. Then she accidentally ran into us a few times at the store. Got into my wife's church group. Started to make friends with her. The last straw, I found out she was hanging out with my daughter. I met her one last time and fucked her under that bridge. I told her that it was time to get lost. She told me she was gonna hurt my son and my daughter if I didn't keep seeing her. Was gonna tell my wife everything. I acted like I gave in, like I was gonna leave my wife and kids. I told her, let's go take some pictures of the water from the top of the bridge. She was so happy, didn't even question it. I killed her that night. She took a shot of the water. I grabbed her collar, sweeped her foot, smashed the back of her head into the rail. I strangled the rest of the life out of her. Tried to make sure it looked like she fell off the bridge after hitting her head and fell into the water with her camera. Made it look like an accident. Just her trying to get a good shot. Stupid bitch. She shouldn't have threatened my kids. Now, I think I do anyway. But that's a story that really needs to stay buried. Good thing though, I think my next book is gonna be killer.
And as you remember strangling the life from Alyssa, you remember smashing her skull into the railing, blood trickling out. Remember the feel of her throat beneath your hands, how soft it was, how easy to crush. So driving in the car and remembering all this, I'd like you to make me a keep it together roll as this all comes flooding back. Oh. Let's see. I have to go into...
That doesn't look good.
No. I just have to see... Where the heck? Ah, quick reference. Alright. So, 0 is 6. And are not doing so well on keeping it together. Let's see. The threat's not active right now. It's just a bit of a memory. But I'm going to say you're stopped at the traffic light right now. Your hands gripping the wheel hard. They turn white as the blood drains out of them. And right now you're having a slight panic as there is a small memory you think is coming back. As you think there may have been someone watching you that night. Someone that may have seen you do this. Put your hands on Alyssa and strangle her to death. But unfortunately, we have to wait for Kane for that, so I'll have to put a pause until he comes. And we're back, everyone. This evening, we're actually going to only be joined by Rogue Aki and Ghost playing Daniel, Emil, and Terry, respectively. But we are going to pick up with Daniel in the car, his knuckles white, looking on ahead after having a very deep memory of Alyssa and maybe a prospective person standing and watching. Daniel, what do you do?
So, as Daniel's gripping the steering wheel and he realizes that his son has been frantically talking to him this whole time, while he's at the red light and the blinker and the windshield wiper is going and the rain tapping on the windowsill, and he blinks out of this daydream almost, where he can see her body fading under the water, and then he tries to remember what that image looked like, who it was standing in the woods watching. It makes him frantic, almost filled with anxiety. He doesn't give his son any other explanation. He just tells him to go inside when they pull up in the driveway, and doesn't talk to him anymore during the car ride home. Just tells him to go inside and pray, to go into his room and pray alone, and that he needed to leave. So without any other explanations or even facing his wife, Tammy, he speeds off, heading towards the bridge.
And you drop off Kane, and Kane's fairly shocked when you do. You peel out of the driveway, and as soon as you do, you feel your phone start to buzz in your pocket. And you're driving down the road, and as the buzzing stops, pauses for a moment before resuming. What do you do?
Daniel looks down at the phone while he's driving.
As you look down at the phone, I want you to make me a see through the illusion check. Alright, so that is... Ooh. As you look down at the phone, the number that's reflected back at you, at least the name that's reflected back, is Alyssa.
He frantically picks it up and puts the phone to his ear.
All you hear is static as you do.
He waits for a long time, and then he says, "Hello?"
You hear this crackling. You hear some distortion from the other end. And as you're driving, you find yourself parked outside the park now. Parked near a parking lot that's close to the bridge. You can see it from where you're sitting. Crackling gets louder as you're closer now to the park.
He's gonna get out of the car slowly, still with the phone on. And he asks a couple more times, "Hello? Who is this?"
You still hear the crackling, the static. You think you hear, sounds like a female voice on the other end. Sounds like it's in pain.
He hangs up immediately and then looks out towards the bridge and starts to walk towards it.
And as you walk towards the bridge, you can hear the wood creaking beneath your feet. You walk up the small path. It's slightly laid out with a little bit of wood planks here and there. And so you approach the bridge. You don't see anyone on it at the moment, but you are there. What do you do?
He's gonna go to the exact spot where he strangled her, or maybe like as if he's trying to see maybe some blood still, even though he feels like there won't be anything there. He's looking for some remains, maybe.
And as you go to the bridge, you step onto the wood planks there. You can feel they're a bit slippery as you walk from the rain. They give a little as you walk, your weight pressing them down as you get to the point where you've strangled. You look around, looking for any blood, anything like that. And as you're standing there, you hear from behind you what sounds like some sort of gurgling, sputtering, a few cracks. What do you do?
He's gonna spin around, kind of frantically looking around.
And as you spin around there, looking to see what's making the noise, you don't see anything. There's no one there. But you feel your phone vibrate again as it's ringing.
He answers it really quickly this time.
You look at the name.
He doesn't even look at it. He just answers it and says, "What do you want?"
And you hear a very familiar voice on the other line. Where in the hell are you, Daniel? You can tell it's your wife, Tammy.
And he stutters for a minute. And, I needed to go for a drive. Clear my head.
A drive, really? You've been needing to go for a drive, seems quite often for the past little bit. When are you going home?
I'll be home in a little while, dear.
Well, how long? I mean, Faith wants you to read her a story, and for some reason Terry's coming all in, praying in his room. I don't know what kind of stuff he's trying to pull. There's always something with that boy. He's your son, after all.
Well, we had kind of a breakthrough at our session today, and we figured we'd do some soul searching, and I dropped him off, told him to start praying. And I think he's going to make some changes in his life, and I'd like to do that too. I'd like to make some changes.
Why don't you make me so you're trying to kind of are you trying to convince her, or?
Yeah, I think he is.
Sure, make an influence another check. And yes, I meant Kane, not Terry. Oh. Well. Let's see. NPC. Oh. So you hear nothing on the other end from... Alright, fine. Trying to make some changes? That's good of you there, Daniel. But come home as soon as you can, alright?
Yes, dear.
Thank you. You see the phone hang up.
He turns the phone off, a look of disgust on his face. Closes his eyes and starts thinking about Alyssa again.
Close your eyes. You think about Alyssa. It's almost as if you can feel her hands in your... like you're holding them, soft, familiar. And you squeeze your hand slightly and it feels a bit more physical. What do you do?
He grabs his hand and backs away a little bit, kind of shocked.
Are your eyes open or closed still?
Yeah, he's going to open them.
And as you open your eyes, in front of you, you see very whole, looks like very alive, Alyssa.
He starts to kind of just go pale, and he doesn't flee or anything. He just stands there kind of shocked for a moment and says, this isn't possible. How are you here?
You're looking upon her. You see there's a very pained expression on her face, almost as if it's twisted in agony. And you can see she opens her mouth and she coughs and blood starts to drip from her lips onto the ground as she coughs. You can see there's chunks of flesh that start to come out. And as they do, she looks up to you with a pleading expression. And all she says is, "Help me."
He starts to back up and shake his head. I can't help you. You're not. You're already gone.
So you back up, she stands up a bit straighter, and you can see her hands go to her throat. It seems like she's trying to tear either invisible hands or binds away. You can see she slowly turns purple. As she does, you can see her skin start to decay and rot in front of you. You can see worms slowly start to come out of her pores, start to devour the skin in front of you. One of her eyes comes out of their sockets and cascades to the ground with a wet sound that hits the wood. And she falls to her knees as she slowly starts to decompose in front of you. Make it a keep it together check.
Any modifier?
It'll be already. I think. Ooh, you might have a negative there, Bucko. Actually, you don't. So no modifier. It's already calculated in. Ooh. Well, let's see. So, as you see this, you start to panic, and you actually received -2 stability before, but you're going to receive another -2 stability as you just feel your feet take you away from this location and just start running and running. Eventually, you find yourself in a very familiar place. Let's see here. Actually, that's way too far to run. You just find yourself in another part of the park, basically. You find yourself a bit off trail. You're not sure. Oh goodness. Give me one sec. But you find yourself off trail and you're not sure exactly where you are at this point.
Yeah. He's running frantically in the woods and just terrified that he's going to turn, a tree and see her again until finally he can't run anymore, and he stumbles and falls up against a tree and you're not here anymore. I can't help you. And he keeps saying that over and over. I can't help you. And just kind of slides down the tree.
You slide down the tree, repeating that phrase, I can't help you, over and over. And eventually, as you sit there, your hands over your knees, cradling yourself, you don't know when, you end up falling asleep for a few hours in the park. And when you wake up, there seems to be a little bit of light peeking out through the trees. You realize it's been all night since you've been out here. You feel cold, you feel damp.
Oh. He is going to slowly get up and try to find his way back to his car if he can. Yeah, he's going to check his phone a couple times.
You turn on your phone to check your messages. You see that they're all from Tammy. It's one after another. But I want you to make me... guess I just need to check to see which one would be appropriate. No, that doesn't make sense. I guess it'd be see through the illusion. Again, yeah. Do that for me. Goodness. Oh, boy. So as you look down at your phone, you look back to some of your other phone calls that you got, just kind of scrolling up, because Tammy's called you a lot this evening and left you a lot of very angry voicemails if you check. But you scroll back up to that original call. You think the original static call that you... There's no number that says, no name that says from a list. They're all from Tammy.
He rubs hand over his face, kind of disbelief and scratching his head. He does not want to call her back, but he does leave her a message, a text message that says, I'm okay. I'll be home soon.
You send a text message. It's like 5 a.m. at this point. You're able to find your car. You're smart enough to lock it before you left it. What do you do?
He's actually going to drive to a corner store and purchase some alcohol.
Actually, yeah, for sure. So you drive to the best corner store that you know of. You drive to Anton's All Food. You know that they might be a little corner store. They have pretty much everything that you need. And you're able to pick up what you need there, the alcohol that you need. No one gives you any trouble as you go in there. And you're able to get what you need from Anton. You head back to your car. Where do you go from there?
Oh, we still have the medication that we're supposed to be taking, right?
Came through yours out the window.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna need to find some more, but I don't want to get it from Kane. Can I call Emil?
It's 5 a.m, but you can call Emil.
Oh God, yeah, it's 5 a.m.
Do you call Emil?
Yeah, I'll call him.
All right, give me one moment. There we go. Emil, you're asleep. And fairly soundly at this point. You smoked a lot of weed the night before just because of what had happened with Henrietta being very upset about her son. And it wakes you out of your sleep, but you hear your phone go off, ringing.
Yeah, Emil kind of groggily, stretches about, takes a minute, and then realizes, oh yeah, I better get this before it actually stops the call. And it's probably just about as it hits voicemail that he picks up. Hey, man. Hello?
Hey, Emil. It's Daniel. I'm sorry to call you this early in the morning, man.
Oh, yeah, that's fine, man. How's it going? What's wrong?
Well, I had a bit of a freak out last night without the a medication, you know?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, actually. Are you alright? You been seeing things, or?
yeah, I think I've been seeing things, and I think I spent the night last night in the woods.
Oh,
And I gotta tell you, I'm not really wanting to go home right now, but
man.
uh,
Yeah, man, that
I'm
sounds pretty harsh, man. Do you need to crash for a bit, or?
I'm hey, yeah, actually, if I mean you wouldn't mind, maybe I was looking to get some weed or something, you know, maybe to calm me down or something. But you know, if I could come over, perhaps, I guess that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't mind. I usually get up only a bit after this anyway. Um, but yeah, I'll text you my address. It's all good.
Oh, thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, it's all good. Me and Terry had a bit of a rough night too. Some drunk guy outside my apartment. Long story, but we can talk about it once you get over here.
Oh, wow, man. Yeah, yeah. I'll be there soon.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll hang up and go about getting dressed and hopping in the shower.
So, Emil, you get dressed and you hop in the shower, taking your time as you do. Do you do your normal morning ritual of, or do you wait for Daniel before you decide to smoke up?
No, I mean he's on his computer smoking. I mean he figures there's no reason not to while he waits. So but yeah, he's good rolling
Um,
through some various odd ads on like Craigslist and crap. Just
alright. Let me just check something real quick. Emil. Alright, perfect. So, Emil, as you're kind of smoking weed there, and you always know it goes bad when I address you by your character. So as you're sitting by your computer, as you're typing away and you're smoking your joint, you hear someone bang at your door.
I'm not sure if that's Daniel yet or what. Kind of has a little ashtray next to his computer, and he puts out the blunt and stands up and stretches and kind of thinks about it for a moment and
As you think, you hear the pounding again, even louder.
damn it. And he heads on over and looks through the little eye thing.
You look through the eye thing, you don't see anything. It's like someone's covering the eye thing with their hand.
Weird. And Emil kind of calls out through the door, "Hey, who is it?"
Yeah, it's maintenance. We had a lady above you. She broke a... Need to come in and see if there's any water damage. It's an emergency.
Don't see really anything, man. Seems pretty cool in here.
Yeah, we need to check, man. You mind letting us in? We got a key, too. So,
You got a key? I mean, yeah, if you got a key, you can come on in.
And there's a pause. Some shuffling. You hear some murmuring outside the door. You hear someone fiddling with the lock. They seem to be fiddling with the lock for a while.
Yeah, Emil's gonna
Do you do anything in the meantime?
He's gonna go grab his phone and I assume he got a contact from the cops last night. You know, given everything that happened.
Oh yeah,
You
you definitely got
if that person shows up, call this number and we'll get there. Especially if there's some shit like that, right?
Yeah, you got the number of both Officer Ruben Green and Jaylene Rogers.
Yeah, he calls the dude he gave the whole story to.
And
Does it sound like the person from last night, or?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, Emil's kind of concerned, but he basically gets the number on like plugged in, so he just hits a button and has his thumb kind of hovering over that. And
yeah, as you do that and you have your thumb hovering over it, you hear the latch unlock, and as the door swings open, you see 3 masked men come in with guns pointed at you.
And as that happens, Emil hits the button.
As you hit the button, you see the gun shoots off, hitting the phone that you have in your hand, causing it to fall to the ground. And I want you to make me a see through the illusion check.
Okay. There we go.
Good,
Boy.
but as you do, it's almost as if the kind of scene shifts a bit. You realize you're not in your apartment anymore. But it looks like your parents' house. Give me one moment where I find that. Oh, good. All right. And as you kind of look to the left, as they fire, and you still see the 3 masked men, you look to the left, you see your mother standing there, and she looks at you with a shocked expression. And all she says, "Robert, put your hands up." And you feel your hands raise on their own. The 3 masked men come in, pointing the gun at you, and they scream, "Where is it?" What do you do?
Emil, or in this case, through his eyes, Robert, kind of has his hands up. I don't know what you're talking about.
And as you say that, one masked man looks at Cassandra, your mother, shoots her in the leg. She screams out in pain. She falls to the ground. They take a handful of hair in their hands. And she cries, "I'm not fucking with you. Where is it?"
Robert's eyes turn to Cassandra and lock with her own, very pained look on his face as he turns back to the men, putting on the most bewildered mask he can. I don't know what you're talking about.
And he takes the gun and he points at her other kneecap, shooting it as well. And Robert, you see there's a gun of your own that's on a table nearby. She's screaming out in pain as both of her knees have been shot at. You can see the other 2 masked men are laughing. The gun is within reach. What do you do?
His hand is still kind of up, and in a panic, looking towards Cassandra, he looks to them. In the cupboard, by the door. And just as they go to turn, he reaches for the gun.
You see he grabs the gun. Do you fire it?
Yes.
And this is, okay, you fire it into the chest of the assailant. And as you do, a number of bullets start sailing around the room. Before Robert knows it, Cassandra now lies dead on the carpeted floor. It's soaking up her blood. All the other 3 masked men lie on the ground, dead as well. Robert lays there and he sees underneath the table, he sees what they were looking for. A book. A book that looks like it's covered in human skin, bound and stitched. bindings looking as though they don't unlatch. And you're able to reach for it, grab it. You know how to activate it, how to open it. But I want you to roll me act under pressure, but I'm going to put Emil out.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. You realize, though you are Emil seeing through Robert's eyes, you're experiencing this at the same time. You reach your hand out. One of the assailants is close enough. You dig into his chest wound, pulling out a large chunk of human flesh and blood. And as you wipe it across the front of the book, your right eye fades, vision going dark, and a single eye opens on the book. And as you do so, Emil, you're sitting at your computer chair, and you hear another banging at the door. And at this point, Daniel, you've gotten to Emil's home. You're knocking at the door now. What do you guys do?
Yeah, Daniel's wiping his coat off and trying to make himself look somewhat presentable. He's got a bottle of whiskey in his hand and knocks on the door again, looking towards the windows, see if hoping Emil didn't fall back asleep or something.
Yeah, most of the windows are pretty tightly closed up. It looks almost like a combo of those plastic twist blinds as well as actual curtains. As a moment later, Emil kind of pulls the door open, doesn't seem to even check who it is, and you notice, like, usually he has his sunglasses on, but right now he doesn't, and is like, you're like, oh, hey man, come on in. And you notice, like, his eyes are just streaming in tears, and his face is very red, but he doesn't seem to be paying much mind. Seems kind of almost off somewhere else.
Daniel almost doesn't notice it at first, like he's just gonna walk on in and slowly, but this is his first time here as well, so he stops for a minute and looks around slowly as he walks in and says, thanks a lot for letting me stop by, and is everything okay?
Oh, he kind of wipes his eyes. Yeah, man, it's fine. I just, one of those schizo attacks, I think. It was really bad.
Oh, damn. Man, maybe, his thoughts for a moment go to his son and hoping that it was, hoping it wasn't like a terrible idea to leave his son alone. And, says maybe it's a good idea for us to be around each other for a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Sorry, man, I'm a bit out of it. The whole thing. It's early and, all this stuff going on with the pills. You wanted to smoke up, right?
Yeah, I think maybe it'll, I hope it'll take the edge off, but, maybe I got a bottle too. I mean, if you wanna...
Oh,
If you need
no,
to drink
no,
a little
man.
bit, or...
I don't ever mix, you know.
Oh, yeah, I get it, yeah.
But yeah, let me, he heads over to his desk and pulls out, another rather finely already pre-rolled blunt and passes it over to Daniel.
Daniel takes it and sits down wherever he can. He looks around for a moment. And, yeah, you got a light?
Yeah, on the table there, just by you. And he motions over, and there's a small lamp, but next to it there's actually a couple of those little Bic lighters in various colors. You notice that he seems to have one in various places around the room.
He picks up the white one, if there is a white one in there for some reason, and lights the joint. Takes a big drag, a couple of puffs, and sets the lighter down and coughs, hacks up crazy, like he's not a professional smoker or anything by any means. And he shakes his head, already the effects hitting him. His eyes kind of uh, looking all droopy already, and he turns to pass the joint to him, and he says, how's the brain treating you? I hope it wasn't too bad, huh?
Oh, yeah, man. It's not too bad. Actually, maybe it is. And he's kind of standing as Daniel reaches the pass, and he's like, oh, this for you, man. I got more if I need it. Just excuse me a moment while I get dressed. You can go ahead and keep talking if you want.
Okay, yeah.
So, what was this thing you saw, man? You said you had one of those attacks or something.
Oh, oh, it's just weird. It was like an old girlfriend, you know?
Wait,
She's,
really? Like an
yeah,
ex, right?
yeah,
She didn't die or
yeah.
something, did she? Or like get
Uh,
kidnapped by people, or
she
like
did, as a matter of fact. She died.
wait, shit, really?
Yeah.
You just
And,
fucking with me, man. Holy hell! I mean, like Terry had like the same thing just yesterday. Like,
Terry did?
yeah, like seeing an old ex and stuff around. That's crazy. What is it with like accident stuff?
I don't know. Maybe the medicine just like unlocks some old parts of your past or something.
Hmm. Like,
Well, where is Terry?
oh, I don't know. He headed out pretty late last night. Wanted to get home.
Yeah. Well, shit, I hope he's okay too. Hmm.
Yeah, we talked for a while, man. He seemed a bit stressed out, but I think he'll get a handle on it. Speaking of getting a handle on it, and you see at this point he kind of comes back out. He's been talking from like half in another room, and he's like fully dressed now, and he's got his sunglasses on and everything. You got a car, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um, he kind of looks to the bottle. Are you sure you're good to drive, man?
Yeah, actually, I haven't even opened it yet. I was just gonna see if,
I mean,
you know.
if you want it, then you can, and I can drive. But you think you'd mind giving me a ride to my shop?
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Fuck yeah. And he stands up kind of excited already and takes another big drag. Uh, yeah, no, I'm not gonna drink. This is fine.
Awesome, yeah.
This,
It really works, right? Taking the edge off and stuff.
yeah,
It really does it. Oh yeah.
I feel much better.
And he heads over to his desk and grabs out like 3 or 4 more and passes 2 of them to Daniel. Here, that way on the way and stuff. And once we're there, I mean, I got more
Oh,
there, but just in case.
fucking awesome, man. I mean, I'll pay you for this
Oh,
stuff.
no, man. We're friends. I don't mind. I got enough of it laying around.
Oh, fucking cool, man. Yeah, let's go.
Cool, yeah. That's right. I don't think you've been down to the shop, have you?
No, I fucking never leave my desk usually, except to go, to fucking errands and shit, and my kids and my wife. God, I don't even want to go home.
Yeah.
She's gonna fucking really be pissed off.
Oh, shit. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah, my sister's gonna kill me. I mean, they deserve it, but it's, I sit my nephew, right? Every day, until his dad can come and pick him up, and that drunk guy was, giving us some real trouble. So she was, pretty pissed. The whole thing with Terry happened, and we were a bit late. So, yeah.
And like, you can tell Daniel's got his mouth open wide, just staring at him, and like, he didn't understand what the hell you were talking about, probably. And he's like, yeah, that fucking sucks, man.
Yeah. Let's just go to the shop, okay?
All right, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, this stuff is strong.
Oh, yeah. It's good stuff, man. Kinda mellows out after a while, though, so,
As the two of you leave Emil's home, heading towards Kult, the camera pans to Terry. Terry, it's the morning. It's fairly early at this point. But beside you, in your small bed, you feel a shuffling beside you. And you feel the naked skin of Vivian rub against you as she gets up. You can hear a little bit of cracking as she stretches.
Yeah, Terry, he just kind of stretches, lays back a bit, and makes it clear that he's awake if she's getting up. He kind of just leans back and folds his hands behind his head, giving her space to stretch.
And she's standing up at this point, and she's putting on her clothes again. She gives you a glance back and smile. That was fun. Thanks for letting me stay over.
After all that hard work out, I had to give you a place to relax.
I'd hope so. And she puts on her shirt. And she looks around and grabs the last few remnants. She picks up her bra from the floor, putting it into her small backpack that she had. Well, I got a bit of a day planned, the rest of it, but I'll see you later, Terry.
Absolutely. You got my number.
Now I do. And she gives you a bit of a wink before she finishes putting on her shoes. You can see her tie her hair back up, put on her baseball cap, thread the hair through that little opening, and she gives your dog, Brutus, one last pet before she heads at the door. And Brutus, he trots up to you, and he just starts panting, looking at you, whines a little, and you know he wants outside.
Oh, all right, buddy, all right. He checks his clock. And what time is it?
It's like 7 a.m. at this point.
Yeah, it's fine. He stretches a bit and pulls a cigarette from the pack that's next to the, it's on the nightstand, lights it from the bed, throws the covers off, puts on some sweats, doesn't really put on her shirt or anything, just some sweatpants. Come on, buddy, let's go ahead.
And he pants very excitedly, and he jumps around a little bit as you put on the both of you heading outside and going for a small walk. As you do, probably about 15 minutes later, Brutus likes to walk, so you get a message from your client, Alessandra Summers, who wanted photos taken, I think of her and her dog, she's specified now. Let me show to player. She contacts you again through Instagram DMs, and she asks if you're willing to meet a bit earlier, maybe in about like an hour and a half.
Yeah, how far is it to the park?
It's not that far for you. It's a fairly small town, so you can get anywhere pretty quickly. I mean, you could even walk your dog there if you want.
Yeah, Terry checks his watch, sees it's about 15 minutes after. So. Yeah, he sends her a DM back. Sure, not a problem. I'll fix some things up and I'll be over there at around 8:30, question mark.
And she sends a thumbs up emoji and just meet you there.
Sweet. And then I reply and let her know I've got that, and then walk him a little bit more. I know I've got time, so not in any huge rush just yet.
Yeah, Brutus is very excited that you're taking him on a long, and he stands around a couple times sniffing things and what. You do see someone go by you, a neighbor, you know her. Her name's Karen, and Karen walks by with her tiny little dog. It's like a chihuahua. She has a chihuahua in her arms, and as she walks by you, why don't you make me a see through the illusion check? Oh! You guys are rolling great today. Let's see. Oh. Perfect. So all you see is just Karen. Miss Karen, her dog. Her dog seems very lethargic this morning. Normally the Chihuahua's barking a lot. It growls a bit at Brutus, and Brutus doesn't really do anything. Brutus doesn't do anything at the moment. Looks very content as usual, walking by. Does his usual happy bark to the Chihuahua. And the Chihuahua's not really barking back, just looks very lazily over at Brutus, gives a bit of a growl. Karen gives the usual, how's it going? In the morning. It's always the same greeting every morning, just how's it going?
It's good, Karen, it's good. How's your pup doing? Looks a little bit sick.
Pup's doing good. He just got to go to the vet today a little bit. He's a little bit sad, but you know how it is.
Well, I hope it's nothing too serious.
Nah, I mean, it ain't anything too serious. You have a good day now, Terry.
You too. Keeps on walking by.
And you keep walking by, and Bruce looks back for just a moment before continuing. And as you continue on, you're only a few steps away, and you only get this very faint smell of rot as Karen walks by, but then it quickly dissipates as you continue to walk.
Yeah, he coughs a bit. Damn.
You drop Brutus back off at home, and Brutus is a fairly good boy, so he goes in his crate. He's very happy to just kind of sit there and chew on one of his many, many, many toys that you've given. You're able to gather your camera equipment before heading to the park. Before you head out, do you do anything else?
Put on something a bit more professional, but still casual enough. Photographer, not a salesman. So he puts on like probably similar to what he's wearing. There's some slacks, but more of like rolls up the sleeves a little bit. Does his hair up, and then make sure he's all squared away, looking professional. And, all right, Brood, I'll be back in a little bit, bud. I'm gonna make some more of that chicken kibble that you like for lunch. Scratch him behind the ears a bit before he goes.
He gives a very happy bark before you leave, and he trots back into his little cage there and sits down. And you head out to the park to meet Alessandra. And as you head to the park, there's a few people around and whatnot. And you've been to this bridge before. It's a fairly common bridge for people to be on. You see a number of people walking and whatnot. And you see standing there kind of on the edge with her dog in her arms. You see a little white dog, very curly hair, long snout. You see that's a Yorkie that she's holding in her arms. And as you approach, the Yorkie lets out a very quick bark towards you. And Alessandra, you've seen her around town before, so she's not new. And she gives you a small wave. Hey, how's it going? I'm glad you could make it.
Oh yeah, my.
You can call me Alessandra. It's fine. No misses. It's like my mom.
All right. I'm Terry. As you know, you can call me Terry, whatever. Yeah, so I understand you're looking to get some photos done for just you and your dog?
Yeah, this is Rudy. Say hi, Rudy. And she takes the dog and she like waves a paw.
And he just kind of waves. He'll go to like scratch him behind the ears.
Rudy seems fairly content for you to scratch him behind the ears.
All right, sounds good. And just some glamour shoots.
Mostly just glamour shots. I really mostly just I want to send these to my mom. She's down in Florida right now, so and she really misses really nice photos. Kind of like a before Christmas shot. It's like a preparation. Yeah.
Nice. And we could even look at doing some custom borders, things like that. If you want time or something like that, we could go in some extra things. How long has it been since you've been up here with Rudy?
Oh, I think I've been in town for I don't know. And she pauses for a moment. But it's been a while, at least a few years.
Yeah, and Terry nods. It's a bit weird to him. You shouldn't know how long, but he just kind of dismisses it. And, all right, well, yeah. So whenever you're ready to get started, we got some nice places around here. Definitely get the bridge view. Kind of do a nice backdrop here. You'll find there's a couple trees over there look pretty good for the little shaded shots. Kind of take advantage of this nice weather and go from there if that's something you like to do.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess the two of you start to take photos. She wants to do one on the bridge first.
Yeah, I absolutely do one on the bridge. So probably do one on just the main part of the bridge, just kind of like straight down the walkway, and then do something against the rails with her holding Rudy. So you kind of be directing her. And,
yeah. Do you happen to look at the photos at all after you take a picture?
Probably not right away, because he usually he does development for his still because he feels like the quality is better. He does digital as well, but he likes to have developed ones because people seem to like that other aspect of it. It costs him a bit more to do it. People like to have the developed photos as well. So he wouldn't look at the digitals yet. He'd probably just do it later because he wants to run them through and make sure he's editing and everything like that properly.
All right. You're taking a number of photos of Alessandra, and she's a fairly easy client to work with. She's very receptive to your kind of instruction for posing and whatnot. And she loves taking photos of like her dog kissing her face and that sort of thing. She's a very bubbly girl and very chatty. and you take a number of photos, and by the end of it, she comes up to you and she says, so when can I expect the photos of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead. I do post processing things like this to make sure they look all good because they look good from my perspective, the ones I was taking, but I want to do some post processing on it to make sure that everything comes out real clean. Because even with cameras like this, it really is difficult to nail down on the quality and correctly get everything for a professional shoot. So probably I would say by end of day for sure. Do you have a certain time frame you need them by?
Oh no, like I don't know, like a couple weeks, but the sooner the better, to be honest.
No, I could. What I can do, I can definitely get them out to you by the end of next week. All of them. I can go out in batches. So instead of just all at once, I can just give you a couple at a time. And as I'm going through everything, I'm sorry. This is my second job, unfortunately. So I do apologize for time constraints, but um, I am gonna just put some post processing, but I will get them out in batches to see if that's something that you're cool with.
And she just nods and says, yeah, that'd be great. And she holds out a hand for you to shake. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Hey, if you ever want to do any shoots again, just let me know. And he shakes her hand.
And afterwards, she kind of rubs her nose with her dog. And as they kind of head out, you're still standing on the bridge and you watch her go. And as you turn your head to kind of look forward, you see standing very close to you is a blonde woman. She looks at you, she smiles, she gives you a little bit of a hi.
Oh, hello there.
Hey, look, I know this is strange. I don't have a lot of time. I have to ask you for a favor. You're the only one I can ask.
Terry looks around and yeah, I can see what I can do. What's going on?
Do you know Daniel Whiting at all?
Yeah. Me, him, and his kid. A couple other people are all in a therapy together. Yeah.
Oh, how is Kane? How is he doing? Is he all right? Is he doing well in school?
And Terry kind of squints his eyes.
How's Faith? Is Faith okay?
I mean, Kane seems, he's going through typical kind of teenage stuff, but I'm not super familiar with Mr. Whiting and his family. I'm sorry. It's only kind of what we talk about in sessions.
Oh, okay.
I do have his number. I mean, I have, we talk on occasion, but I've not really been around to him outside of it,
I know. Can you tell him that I need to talk to him? It's important.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name's Tammy.
Tammy?
Yeah. Just tell him to come here.
To meet you here, do you want him to give you a call and set the time?
I can't. I don't have a phone. I really need to meet me here. As soon as you can.
I can give him a call and say that you want to meet him here. Yeah, I can do that for you.
Thank you. But it has to be in the evening.
Is there a good time?
After dark, maybe after 10.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. Are you okay? You seem really flustered, ma'am.
You see her start to scratch her arms very deeply. You can see her nails digging into her skin. They start to pull up. You can see basically these curls of skin slowly starting to drag as she drags her nails up her arm.
Yeah, and Terry looks at her arm, looks confused. Is catching some echoes of the other night. I will, I'll let him know. Is there anything else?
Yes. Tell him. And she stops. She quickly looks around, her eyes going wide. I have to go. I have to go. I'm sorry. I have to go. And she lets go of you, and she runs off to the north.
He will snap a photo of her as she's running away.
You snap a photo of her, and she eventually runs off down kind of into the trees, and you lose sight of her.
What the fuck? And he kind of shakes his head, and he bag his camera, and he'll go to his car, get into it, and he's going to head home and start process, but he will get on the phone and call Daniel if he has his number.
And as you're calling, the scene is going to shift. Where the heck is it? It's going to shift to cool old stuff. And let me just change the music here. So you get, so both of you arrive to cool old stuff. And of course, Barry is there, and he's tending to the store. And as both Daniel and Emil come inside, he raises his hand. Hey, how's it going? Are you taking the day off there, boss? What's up?
Yeah, so Emil probably over the weekends he's usually off, and Barry kind of just watches for a few hours. It's probably only open like, shortened hours over the weekend, but Emil kind of heads on in. Oh, hey man, yeah, it's just something I left around here. I think I need to find it.
Oh, yeah, of course, man.
You remember
what is it? And he looks.
Do you know that book? I don't know if I ever showed it to you. It's like
the book. What book?
Old leather stitching,
He thinks about it for a moment. I can. Might be in the back room. And he looks over to Daniel and gives him a. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you? Daniel.
Barry, nice to meet you. And he looks to Emil. Hey, you want me to go look in the back room, or?
Oh, no, it's fine. You guys can hang out while I go look for it, if that's cool.
Yeah, of course. And Emil, you head into the back room to search. Barry just stands there and gives you a very dumb grin, Daniel. And as he does so, your phone goes off, starts to ring. You see it's Terry that's calling you.
Yeah, Daniel's like a little bit paranoia, I guess, from the smoking, and not so socially active with Barry. So he starts to like look around and like tinker with things, and when he sees the phone go off, it's almost a blessing. He picks it up and it's like, oh wow, and he answers it. Hello?
Hey, Mr. Whiting, it's Terry.
Terry, we were just talking about you.
Lee, good things, I hope.
Yeah, I'm hanging out with Emil.
Oh, Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, that's great, man. I just wanted to give you a call, Mr. Whiting. I had a weird kind of run-in today with somebody who wanted to have you meet him.
Huh. Meet him.
Yeah. Well, I had an appointment today for my photography, as helping somebody out, and I finished with that, and some blonde girl walked up to me, blonde lady, sorry, and she was asking me about you, seeing how you were, seeing how Kane was, asking about Faith, just asking about you guys in general, and was saying that she needed to speak with you. Is a bridge in the park. I have a picture of her. She said her name was Tammy.
And while he's explaining this, at the mention of the blonde hair, he starts to like mouth drop open and kind of slowly walking away to get away from the music, to get away from the other guy, and almost goes to the corner of the room. And when he says Tammy, he says, oh, Tammy, she was asking them about the kids? She said her name was Tammy?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little weird, Mr. Whiting. She was really pushy, and she was scratching herself up too, really deep, like in therapy when Kane showed us his wrist, and we all saw it. It was that kind of deep. It was pretty spooky lady. I took a photo of her. If your phone gets pictures, I can try to transfer it over and get it to you there later.
Oh, yes. Yeah, can you send that to me?
Yeah, I have to get home and process all this. I'll do that one first, and then I will get it on my phone and send it over to you. But yeah, she was saying, I don't know, Mr. Whiting, it was weird. She was saying she needed to meet you after dark and all this other stuff. If you need somebody to roll with you, I'm usually not too busy in the evening next day, so I'm just giving you that. But if you don't, then I understand.
He thinks about it for a minute, still mouth open, and pushes his glasses closer to his face and says, we had a rough night last night. I had that medication. Well, I guess we haven't been taking the proper doses. Strange things have been going on. That's kind of why I'm hanging out with Emil right now. I mean, yeah, maybe it's a good idea for us to get together. Maybe it was just some crazy fan, maybe a fan of my books or something. Because that's, Tammy's my wife's name, it's kind of weird. Yeah, it's just send me that picture, please. Yeah. And,
Yeah, I'll get it over to you. I just got to get home, and then I'll get it right over to you.
oh, well, thank you, man.
All right. Be safe, Mr. Whiting.
You too, Terry.
And you'll hang up and drive home.
All right. So with that, as you're in the back there, Emil, you're searching for basically that book. So how frantically are you searching for it? You're actually, you know what? It's not just frantic. You're obsessed with finding this right now. It's all you can think about. This is it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do as you get back there?
Yeah, he gets back there and he immediately, they have like a kind of logbook of like what's come in, what goes out. And he basically goes back to like the oldest page in it and starts scanning and like flipping through the pages and accidentally.
Oh, you try to open the book. Is that it? You try to open the book?
Oh, I was saying they have a logbook of like what
Oh,
comes
they
in.
have a
and out.
logbook.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. You flip the pages and you're trying to find it.
Yeah.
But there's no logbook. There's nothing. There's a logbook, but there's nothing
Ends up
on
ripping
that
one of the
particular
pages,
book.
and as that kind of comes to no fruition, he ends up, digging through and then thinking of like that memory, the idea of it being under something. He starts almost obsessively getting under stuff and checking under every little cabinet and like some of the older, weirder chairs and shit like that. Just digging through the entire place. Anything that can be opened, he opens and makes another mess of it as he does so.
You tear open something. You look under a bunch of crates and whatnot. And finally, you find this book. It looks very much like the book that you saw with your father. Book that had the blood smeared across the cover. But here it is now, as clean as can be. You see there's bindings on it that don't look like there's no latches. It just looks completely sealed. There's very yellowed and old pages that seem to be within. You can see kind of the edges of them. Very wavy, like they've been flipped through many, many times. The actual cover's still intact. It feels soft against your hands, almost comfortable, like you've held it before. What do you do?
Yeah, Emil kind of racks his brain. The memory's kind of just too muddled to really come to the surface, and looks the thing over and then thinks to himself, what happened and how did it open, and he thinks about that strange bit on his palm and the way his eye goes. He kind of, just to check, presses it palm against the spot where the eye opened on the book in the hallucination. To see if he gets any kind of reaction or...
Press your palm against the book. As you do so, you get the flash of what you saw before. Get the flash of the gun. You see the barrel go off again. You can almost feel it in your hands as you shoot the man. You feel the weight of the gun. You see him tumble to the ground. You feel your own hand digging inside of him, pulling out entrails. You feel how soft and hot and wet they are as you wipe them across the cover. And as you do so, as you remember this, give me a keep it together roll.
Emil.
Oh. As you can see that, as you press your hand, you feel almost this pull. You don't know what it is. It's almost like some sort of anger that wells up inside you. For a brief moment, an anger that you've never really known. And all you hear in your ear is the word blood.
And as if, the ultimate epiphany, Emil kind of places his hand and rubs it against his head, just like shaking it like, of course. Yeah, and he starts rooting through and finds this old knife. The thing is a bit rough and looks almost like a kris, right? That kind of wavy blade. And something he bought off an auction, rumored to be some kind of cursed relic, sacrificed a bunch of people to the devil or some shit. And he takes it and he runs it across the side of his thumb. And as he kind of looks at the book, he suddenly just wipes it in one smooth motion across the surface.
I'd like you to make me an observe a situation check as you wipe the blood across the book. Let's see. So you get to ask one question. I will post the questions now. Because as you do that, the book still remains bound. There's nothing that happens as you put your own blood.
Ooh.
I don't know why I did that.
Might wanna...
Delete this.
Yeah, might wanna...
Stop back! It's just for Massive Nyarlathotep at the tip, don't worry about it. Also, I watched Massive Nyarlathotep at the tip.
Okay.
But these are the questions that you can ask.
I'm working on it now, yeah. I think, Ooh. Oh, well, I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? What is the best way through this?
You remember feeling the innards of someone else as your father dug through them and spread them across the book. Your own blood won't work for this, Emil.
Emil kind of stares, eyes wide at the book, kind of sits back in a very odd, crooked chair, leans kind of far to the left on one side, but looks quite elegant. And he just sighs. Oh, come on, man. Oh, it's just too much, isn't it? He looks over the book. There's gotta be some kind of way. Taps his finger on the book, trying to think of it. Kind of notices the thumb is still bleeding. Oh, shit. And he takes the book and kind of tucks it under his arm, underneath his kind of... he has this kind of overcoat type jacket shirt. And he kind of tucks it under and heads back out. Hey, we still got those bandages, Barry?
And he's been kind of crouched underneath the main counter. Seems to be kind of tidying things, and he stands up very rapidly. You hear him just like smack. He's like, fuck! And he gets up. Yeah, bandages, but what happened?
Oh, yeah, you okay?
Yeah, I just banged my head, man. Shit. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, shit. Hey, Barry, you ever do one of those, like those diabetes tests or whatever? You prick your finger and it's... You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, dude, I ain't got diabetes. You said I'm fat.
I mean, I don't think you have to be fat to have diabetes, do you?
You're like born with that type of diabetes, man.
Oh, yeah.
You could definitely smell weed in here when you came in.
I mean, it's kind
it
of...
always smells like weed
I was gonna
in
say,
here.
I mean...
It's like old shit and weed when you walk
You're saying
in.
it
but
smelled like the shop when you walked in.
Yeah, it smelled like the shop. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like... Come back here real quick. Come back here. Sorry, Daniel. It'll be just a minute, okay?
Oh, yeah, man. That's fine, man.
Daniel, you find this globe up here by the way, and it's very interesting to you because it moves on two different axes. So you can spin it two ways. It's amazing.
Oh. He's going to play with that for a while.
Yeah, you play with that, and Barry goes to back with Emily. He's like, man, I have fucking weight issues, man.
Oh, no, you're fine.
And Barry's a thin guy, but he's just like, oh, shit. How fit's a fiddle? I ain't seen one work out before.
I mean, honestly, you could probably put on a bit, but don't worry too much about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, what's up?
Oh, and he kind of thinks about it for a second. You know how we collect all this old stuff? Do you ever, like really believe some of this shit could be real? Like real?
I mean, like, sometimes, man, sometimes I look at some of these books, and they've got, like, these weird words, right?
Yeah.
And I, like, look at them, and they kind of organize in different ways, but then I remember I'm dyslexic.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. But, I mean, Like, if you had a chance to, like, see, for sure, if it was, you'd go for it, right?
Yeah, that's why I got glasses.
Yeah. Okay, so I need you to bleed on this book, man.
Wait, what? And he seems very taken aback by that. He's like, I'm not gonna fucking bleed. Why? You're gonna ruin the book.
I mean, like, just, like, prick your thumb or something, right?
With what?
And he grabs...
I'm gonna get tetanus.
He grabs the the Chris that he had, the little ritual knife. I mean, like, I tried it, right? But it doesn't work with my blood. Like, it has to be somebody else's.
He seems very hesitant. I want you to make me an influence others check.
If he makes this fucking roll, I'm gonna die.
Let's see. Yes, decent. Let's
Oh my
see.
God.
Influence others. Ooh. All right. So, Barry kind of looks at you and he nods. All right, man. I'll do it for you.
Okay, like, I promise, it's just one time, man. Like, I really believe this is a thing, and I mean, if it's not, like, I owe you one, okay?
All right. And he holds out his hand. He's like, do you want to do it?
Oh, yeah.
do you
I mean,
want me to
yeah,
do
just
it?
do it, like, here. And, he's like, you're supposed to do it, like, on the side of the finger, I think? I watched this video talking about, like, these crazy guys that implanted chips in their fingers and stuff, so they could feel electromagnetic stuff. It's really weird. But it's supposed to not bleed too much, you know? Anyway, and he, like, while he's talking, like, without pause, just suddenly into the finger. Just very small amount.
All right. As you do that, I need you to make me a disadvantage roll.
Oh. Oh no, I didn't think about this. I didn't think through this at all. I didn't think about that. Oh shit.
It's okay. You did it earlier too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you prick him, and he bleeds onto the book, and a few drops of. And as you do so, Emil, you feel the vision basically from your right eye fade, and as you look down at the book, an eye opens up and swivels to look at you. You feel something on your right hand, something moving on the palm of your hand, and you just hear laughter. And Barry is just like, oh, what the... He's like looking at his finger, and he's looking to you, and he looks really just confused, but he's not scared. He's like, what the ow, dude, that fucking hurt.
Yeah, and Emil is like completely agape, and he looks at Barry, and he's like, looks back at the book. You can see the book, right? This isn't one of those schizo things, like...
The eye swivels to look at Barry and then look back at you. You feel just, there's this pulsing sensation in your right eye, and you hear laughter coming from your right hand. And Barry just, no, I see a book. This is the book, man.
Emil kind of still very taken aback. Barry, go up front, man. You wrap your thumb up.
Yeah, okay. And you see him pinch kind of the bridge of his nose for a second, squints his eyes, and he turns around. He starts to walk out into the main room. Then you see Barry come out, and he kind of sits down. He's massaging his temples at this point, very uncomfortably. Daniel, at this point you've gotten tired of the globe. Or he's still playing with it. That's cool too.
Daniel is like engrossed in that.
Daniel's really obsessed with this book. This fucking. But Emil, so you see this book here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Rogue's back.
Sorry,
It's
the
okay.
little one. Am I still playing with the globe, do you say?
You stopped playing with the globe when you heard Barry come out. And he's sitting down the chair and he's looking very uncomfortable right now. He's kind of massaging his temple.
Yeah, Daniel's gonna look over at him and be like, what's the matter, man?
I don't know. I'm feeling a bit dizzy. It is all.
Huh. Oh, maybe you should drink some water or something.
Yeah, man, you mind going to the kitchen, grabbing... There's a kitchen in the back. Can you grab me some water? I hate to ask, but... Yeah.
No, it's alright. I'll go get some water for you. Yeah, you look pale.
Oh, shit. You head to the back, and Emil, you're looking down at the book, and at that moment, I was gonna say, the scene switches
Oh.
to Terry. Terry, you head back home, right?
Yes.
All right, Terry. You're back home. You see Brutus. He's very excited to see you. You can see his tail wagging. He's like, bark! That was very manly bark. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bark!
Bark? So Terry, Terry comes in, and of course, pets Brutus. And, hey, buddy! And he's scratching behind the ears. And then he's making good on his promise to his buddy. He is going to go ahead and cook up some chicken to mix in with the kibbles. Make himself a quick sandwich as well, and then he'll go to work at getting the photos taken care of for the post-processing. He'll try to get... He'll sort through them all. He is going to plan on sending Daniels over first, but he does want to take a look at what he's got before he goes straight to that.
You take a look at what you got. You had a lot of the girl there, Alessandra. You get a lot of her posing with a dog. Some that are like less than flattering, of course, and you delete those. But as you're looking at the photos, there's just something that's off as you look at them. And you're kind of flicking through each one in order, going through all of them to see which ones are best. And you're starting to notice that there's this something in the background. It's like down the way from where the bridges, and it just gets closer. It started off fairly far away, and it gets closer and closer the further you kind of flick. What do you do?
Can you see anything about it? Is it like a person? Is it a profile? What is it?
As you keep flicking, it looks like a person getting closer and closer as you're going through the photos.
And he doesn't remember a person being there.
No, there's like people idly, but you were very careful to get people out of the shot.
And he looks at it, so what the fuck? And he puts his sandwich back on the plate, and he just keeps going through them.
You keep going through the photos, keep flicking through. You're taking pictures in different areas of the park, and this time you're by the trees with Alessandra, and you see her holding up her dog to the light, that kind of thing, and you've got this downward angle. You can see not very far away at this point, getting closer and closer as you keep flicking through the photos. It looks to be a woman. She's slightly out of focus.
He just kind of racks his head, not realizing how he could miss something or how that would happen. So he starts to edit that out as best as he can. Brings up his editing tool and just starts to scrub that as best he can with the background.
You're able to scrub it, able to get the woman out of the way and not in the photo anymore. And this photo looks pretty good once you're done with it.
Yeah, he'll look it over and then he'll go ahead and get it um into a DM to send over to her, to Alessandra, and see what she thinks about it. After he sends that, he's not waiting for a reply right away. He's going to go ahead and go to the one that he's going to send to Daniel, the one he took of Tammy, quote unquote.
Yeah, as you're looking at the one that you took a picture of Tammy from behind, as you look at the photo, all you see kind of you see it from the back. And from the back, it just looks like from her spine that you can see it's exposed through rotting flesh. And you can see almost in detail of the photo that you took. It almost looks like the maggots that are on her skin are wriggling in the photo. You can see sprouting from her back these long black tendrils that basically form what looks like these very grotesque and deformed wings coming from her back. And as you look at the photo, you see her head in the photo snap around to look at you. I want you to make me keep it together check. Alright. Give me one sec. Where is it?
Just imagine getting real close to the computer screen, then
Yeah, pretty much. Alright. So I think you get to choose one, actually. Yeah.
oh boy.
I'm gonna make a macro for this. You get to pick one of these. You become sad.
Scared sounds pretty fucking good. That's probably what would happen.
And yeah, you just get very... You know what the fuck it is. You didn't take a video. Like...
Yeah, no, he looks at the... I adjust that stability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looking real close, and the head turns like, fuck! And he just scoots back in the chair, falls over.
And as you fall over, you feel hands helping you up. And you look up and you see Jessie hovering above you with a smile on her. You okay?
It's another step back against the desk, almost knocking his computer over. And how the fuck did you get in my house?
Just hold on a sec. I need to talk.
Do I have anything on my desk, like sharp, like scissors or anything like that?
Do you? Would you keep scissors on your desk?
I don't know if I need them for anything. I probably have pens or pencils. I guess I'll pull a pen out, point a pen at her, and just back up.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to scare you like this, but I need your help.
He's looking around. With fucking what, Jess?
I need you to find our baby. They took our baby.
Not this shit again. I told you it couldn't happen.
Look, it did. It did, and I had the baby, and I was fine. I was fine without you for the longest time. But something happened, and I need you to find him. I need you to find a baby, Terry.
What the hell are you talking about? Even if we did, who's gonna take our the kid? Who's gonna take him? What are you talking about?
I need you to see something. I need you to understand.
What are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna show you something. You hear from your bathroom, you hear water running. You see coming out from the bottom of your bathroom, water starting to flow. And as you look at the water, there is a slight tinge of red as it's running out.
Yeah, he looks at the water and looks at Jess. What did you do?
She motions for you to go to the bathroom.
He keeps the pen pointed at her and is backing up towards the bathroom. Keeps looking at her, and his free hand starts feeling around for the knob.
And you feel the knob there. You grab onto it and turn it. What do? You feel the door start to give way.
Keep one last look on her and then turn to see the source of the water.
As you look into the bathroom, you see your tub overflowing with water. And it's not the most disturbing thing. So you look inside. You look in the bathroom. It doesn't look like your own. It looks more shabby, smaller. It's a clawfoot tub instead. The room looks a lot older, almost. Inside the tub, you see feminine legs. Trace your eyes up. Looking ahead, you see a body. You see the water stained in red. You see a wrist sliced open. You see blood running out, mixing with the water. You see the face of Jess, eyes half-lidded, as she looks just in a permanent, fixed stare at you. Water keeps running. Blood keeps trickling out. She looks pale. As you stare at her, body starts to bloat with the water, absorbing it almost as if it's in this rapid succession, this rapid timeline. What do you do?
He starts to freak. He starts backing away from the door, his hand over his mouth. So why did you do this? Why did you do this?
Why don't you make me another keep it together check there, Terry? Alright, same as before. Same questions.
You will be haunted by the experience at a later time.
Perfect. Alright. And as you look back to see her, you can see there's just kind of water pouring out of every orifice as she stands. This Jess's hole is complete, but her clothes are soaked. And she looks up to you, these very sad eyes. They made me do it, Terry. I need you to find her son.
Who did it?
And she pauses for a moment, looks down, looks. You should ask Emil and Daniel. And with that, the camera will fade to black, and that'll be the end of tonight's episode.